All right, guys, our last session, exam review. Before we get into talking about the exam, I want to go over the peer review process and all of that. So you guys have done the peer reviews, and I know it's a bit dangerous to release them right now, because my guess is some of you might have one eye on the peer reviews you just got, and you're going, oh, and some of you will be paying more attention. I don't know, we'll see. But technically, you should be able to go onto Europa, and you should be able to read the 8 peer reviews, 6, some of you, 5, it depends. It's a bit hit or miss. Not all students, surprise, surprise, did all the peer reviews. So some of you will get all 8, some of you get less. I think some of you will even get 9. So you should get heaps of feedback. Now, doesn't mean it's all good feedback, and good as in being accurate, useful. You're going to have some students that will say things that are just like, what the hell are they talking about? And you'll have some that really took their time and will give you some really good feedback that if this was in a real world situation, say this is a report you're doing for a client and the peer review is by a colleague, some of the feedback you would have received from your classmates would have really helped you to revise that and improve it and do a better job for your client. That's kind of the real essence of the peer review. It exposes you to a whole bunch of student work or peers' work that you would have never seen otherwise. And I'm guessing for the majority of you, you would have seen some of these students' work and you'd be like, wow, that's really good. And you'd see some that says, man, that sucks, mine is awesome. So you probably would have seen both sides. And if you looked at each one of these peer reviews that you received and you're like, man, all these guys are awesome, well, that should probably tell you that maybe yours is not that great. Or if you see them and you're just like, oh my gosh, all of these are horrible, well, maybe you are awesome, or maybe you just are completely confused. I don't know. So anyway, this is how it's going to work. From this moment until Tuesday at high noon, so that's October 29th, there is going to be a complaint form that is available, and I will open it for you and walk you through it. You guys can't preview it, obviously this is what you'll see when you click on it, okay? And if you start this little thing, it's just a little quiz. It's actually a survey. You've already been exposed to these. I put that in a Canvas announcement, so I won't go through all that right now. But you'll see your question number 1, which is really just asking you to go into the peer review that you received that you think is problematic and deserves a complaint, a red flag put up against it. And a notification to me to be aware that there's something dodgy about this peer review. So there's question 4, that is the one and only open-ended question. I need you to take in the peer review that you do not like, that you think is problematic. I want you to copy the entire contents of that question 4 and paste it into that box. Okay, that's the first step. Then come down here and explain to me what's going on, what's wrong, why should I care to pay attention to all this, why has the red flag been raised on this peer review. Okay, I won't read this out loud to you, guys could all read it, but it needs to be focused on the open-ended complaint. I've had students in the past and they'll get like A+, A-, C, 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 whatever, and they'll be like, okay, those C's are just complete crap. The A's know what they're talking about, the C's all suck. I can tell you right now, if I want to kind of be lazy on a peer review, the first thing I'm going to do is just give everybody an A. First thing I'm going to do. That's the easy way, because you don't get any flack if you give everybody an A. You'll have people that have given you peer reviews that didn't take nearly the time that they should have taken, or the time you took, to do the peer reviews. Some of those would not have followed the instructions. They just gave A+ for 8 of them, all the way across, okay? They will suffer when it comes down to their 5% grade for the peer review portion of this. But anyway, don't read into these letter grades as being all important. I want you to focus not on the letter grades. I know it's impossible to not look at those, because those are the things we all interpret. It's our money. But look at the open-ended feedback, and it's that I want you to comment to me about. You don't have to use these forms. This is only really for exceptional cases that you feel, man, this person got things completely upside down and backwards, or they're just abusive, they got some issue, and Mike needs to know about this. That's what the form's there for. It's not for you to say, I like the 1A and all the rest of the grades suck. You better just dump all those and give me the A. Don't do that, okay? That will negatively affect your assignment 2B mark. All right, if you abuse this process, okay? But the process is out there. Every single complaint, if you really hate all 8 or 9 of the ones you received, fill this thing out 9 times. I hope I never get 9 from any one of you. You might have a bit of an issue if that's the case. So, but you'll have until noon on Tuesday to do this. At high noon on Tuesday, I will begin my lovely process of going through and grading both assignment 2A and assignment 2B. I will do my damnedest to finish by the end of the week. I can't guarantee you that I will succeed, but I'll do my best, because I know you guys are going to want to know where you stand as early as possible to figure out where, how hard you have to push yourself on preparing for the exam. I get all that. So I'll do my best to enlighten you. All right. So has anybody taken their time can you see the peer reviews that you've received? Yeah? Okay. All right. Again, take it easy. Don't get too excited. All right. So that's the end of the peer review stuff that I have here. Digi-exam. Last time I checked, I think there was 6 of you in the entire 300 students in this class that actually did the Digi-exam. From my perspective, I can't actually do it with you because I'm not a student in the class. Actually, that's not the way to do it. I need to go to here. Sorry, guys. That's the back door for me to actually get into the exams. Wouldn't want to click on that, would I? Down at the bottom. Okay, so here's where the link is. I highly encourage you. I get emails all the time from these Digi-exam people saying, tell your students aren't getting on there. Do whatever you have to. Give them something. Okay? Please click on this. It's in your best interest to do that because whether we like it or not, I volunteered you guys as guinea pigs for this pilot, okay, university-wide pilot. This is the biggest course by a good margin. So you guys are like massive guinea pigs, okay? Like nobody knows what to do with you yet. So I don't know how they're going to deal with all the computer situation. You guys are like the huge pilot. Okay, the other courses that have done this, I think are like 40 students, 30 students. We're 300. So they're probably a little bit nervous about you guys showing up on exam day. You're going to relieve the stress of you and relieve their stress if you take your time to give a go of this Digi-exam. Okay, I, for the life of me, don't know exactly how it works. I'll tell you that right now. I've been given an exam ID. As far as I know, you need to use that somehow. As far as I know, you need to enter either your U of A email address, yeah, the Auckland Uni one, or you need to enter your AUID. That's as I understand. So there's like 2 things you need to enter, or maybe 1. Really, I'm a bit in the dark, okay? So best for you guys to have a bit of a play. Do not interpret this as like a real practice exam, okay? I've just taken some questions. I think I mainly took them from your test. And I tried to take ones that give an example of question types. And as we get into the exam structure, I'll kind of talk about the question types a bit. I am not a fan of Digi-exams, I tell you that. But anyway, what can I do? We're all stuck with it now. The platform is not the greatest, okay? And anyway, I'll talk about it, but it's good that you see what it looks like, all right? Have an experience of what it is to answer these types of questions, so when you get to the actual exam, it's not totally new to you. Plus, if you're gonna use your own computer, which the university class this size would be very, 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 they'd be on bended knee hoping that you all wanna use your own computer, then you really need to do this in advance because there's a bit of software, some browser lockdown software that will have to be installed on the computer you use, and bless you. So it's best that you do that in advance, okay? You could always do it on the exam day, but why put up with all that extra stress? Go ahead and do it early, all right? So this will allow you to set up the laptop you're planning on using in this little trial exam. It should all work. All right, so anything else with Digi-exam? Let me see, give it a go. Yep, told you that. Okay, let's see where we stand. I wrote down 34% response rate. I know you guys are really tired of this. I'm tired of this, okay? We're both tired of this. Here we go. 34%. Look at my other class, 37. Yeah, these are my second year students. Jeez, come on. Now, there's enough of you in here that by the time you leave this room, could you please, please take your time to fill this out, okay? Now, that doesn't mean totally stop paying attention to what I'm saying, but that might mean that you stay behind just a few seconds after you clap for me at the end, and you just fill in the things, say, oh, okay. Even if you don't want to take the time to do the open-ended stuff, okay, I get it. If you could put open-ended feedback, that'd be great. But at least go through and give me the basic feedback, okay? The Likert scale, 1 to 7, da 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 da. Yeah? Please do that. It really is important, and I'm tired of asking you. So let's get over 50% so I can shut up. Yeah, we all win. Okay, that's that. Now, the exam structure. What we've all been waiting for, the main event. Now, partly because of the platform that I do not like, this DigiExams, I've taken a different approach. I have a feeling you guys will like this approach. All right. So I'll just go dive right into it. Okay. If you guys can interpret this table, do you notice a big gigantic gap? This is a bar graph, by the way. Okay. These are the number of marks, blue bars. This is lecture 1. That's the overview of the property industry. That's Maori land. And all of these are the building construction ones. What does this tell you? That's right, they ain't jack on all these, okay? Not one little bit. So it's comprehensive-esque. It's comprehensive only because I've gone ahead and asked a couple questions way back here, all right? So this allows you, and for student, come on, this is gold, guys. You get to focus on 3 topics. 50% exam focused on that, man. How can I be any nicer of a guy than do that for you? Okay, and not have you go back through and learn about all this stuff all over again. All right? So I'm trying to be a nice guy. I'm telling you this in advance. Yeah? So I'm expecting great things out of you and focusing on these things, okay? I will post this little PowerPoint presentation or a PDF of it on Canvas. There's a lecture recording of it. It's being live streamed. There's a recording of that, but I will post it. So often in the past, when I put something like this up on the board, immediately come out the phones. And they start, yep, there it is, just in case. Yeah, got to document that bad boy. So here are the number of marks per lecture, all right? And these include what I'm going to show you next, which is by question type, and that includes the big short essay, the essay question, which I've already alluded to. So 70 marks in total. Now here's how the marks are split up. Not the question numbers, but the marks are split up. So sorry, but I only got 6% of the entire exam. That's choose your own adventure, multiple choice, true, false. Okay? Sorry, only 6%. I know it kind of sucks. Nearly a third, okay, 29%, is your short essay. Lecture 9, that is the residual land value, which I have already told you, okay, and I'll tell you again. Residual land value is the topic of this question. If there is one thing that is going to put you under the 45% threshold of passing the course because of screwing up an exam, it's going to be this. It's probably the thing that's going to totally kneecap you and screw you up. So please, please be ready for it. I felt really bad last year when I asked the same size question on a different topic, and people just were not prepared at all, and they made a dog's breakfast of it, and I had no choice but to fail them. That really sucked. Okay, some of those did not really deserve to fail, but that was just the way things kind of ended up for them. Please don't have that happen this semester. Okay, there's also a short answer. It's not an essay, but it's kind of open-ended, and you have to do some blah, blah, blah. Yeah? I'm not going to tell you the exact topic, but I will tell you it's on lecture 7. Okay? So that's an additional 8%. So these two are kind of, I'm expecting you in sentences, yeah, coherent sentences, to write something out and explain something to me. I know this is stage 1, and that's somehow, maybe against the religion of stage 1, but that's the way I'm doing it, okay? Now, fill in the blank questions. Okay, you guys are all familiar with fill in the blank. You took my test, and I know they suck. You hate those things. All right? Now, fill in the blank, in the DigiExam universe, they call it word gap. For the life of me, I don't know how the marking is going to go on that. So I could tell by the structure of their questioning when you set it up, it's quite rigid. So the way it's designed is that if I have a sentence, blah, 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 vocabulary word, blah, 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 you need to write the vocabulary word and that's it. And I don't know how much leeway I'm going to have on trying to give partial credit or do that, whatever. So the way I have done it, and my little example I wrote down here is if the vocabulary word, for example, is investment value. Something, investment value, that's your answer. And that is the word gap as the DigiExams looks at it, and I'm calling it fill in the blank. I have opted to design these questions that is not a perfect match. Okay, so case sensitive, forget it. But beyond that, I have put that the answer must contain. So what the answer is going to do is search the string. Like in that example, I would put invest, I-N-V-E-S-T. That's it. So if you put investment value, if you misspelled something as long as you put invest somewhere in your answer string, you'll get it, okay? That is the design, that's just an example. That is the design of these word gap ones. Again, I don't know how much leeway I'm gonna have to give partial credit. I can't tell you that right now. So I've tried to design these questions as fair and reasonable as I could. And we're just gonna have to see how it plays out. But it is what it is. Everybody now knows 20% of the questions are gonna be these word gap, as DigiExams call it, what I call fill in the blank. And it's going to be contain. I'm going to have a substring as part of the answer I'm looking for, and that should help deal with misspellings and all of that stuff. Okay? So that's how it goes. There will be a bit of calculation, nothing high-powered. You will be allowed a calculator, but you can't have one of these graphing kind of, fancy pants ones where you can put a bunch of notes in there and just, be checking out your notes, okay? Those are not allowed. So a real simple one, the ones that have a little solar panel on them, something like that, really easy. That's all you're going to need. What times this divided by this, that's all you need. Nothing fancy. No cash flows or anything like that at a financial calculator. You could use a financial calculator if you want, because you can't actually save text in them, but no graphing calculators. Okay, 31%, which is a pretty big one, is what I just called it complete the list, okay, or listing questions. So those are the ones, and you'll come across these in your lustrous academic careers, and you've seen this in test one, and there's an example of this type in the DigiExams, gives you a reason to go check out the kind of little practice thing I put on there, the toy exam, where I say, here is a list, and there's, say, 7 items on the list. I'll give you the first one, I'll give blank. Second one, I'll give you blank, blank. Now I'll give you another one, blank. Yeah, you've seen these kind of questions. You've seen it on your test in this course. So that's what I mean by complete the list, okay? So here's a list of something that I presented to you in the course. Do your best to complete the list. Good thing about that, it's not this kind of fill in the blank kind of string testing thing. It's open-ended, almost like these essays. It's going to be a lot easier for me to sit there and give you partial credit, and it's all sweet. So don't worry on these. It's like, oh my gosh, what is that word? What is that? Just go ahead and explain as best you can in your answer and complete that list for me. And then it's all kind of subjective, open-ended to be able to give you a mark that reflects the answer you gave. Okay, this one is not so kind of open or not so flexible. This one, of course, completely unflexible. Yeah, same thing with calculation, totally unflexible. Yeah, either you know it or you don't. Get it right or you don't. Okay. Any questions on the exam, either this slide or, whoops, this slide? Yeah, does everybody kind of understand what's going on here? Yeah? I think you guys should be happy with this, no? You guys really upset? Should I go ahead and call the exams office and say, no, I got to re-exam. I got to change all this. I got to put a whole bunch of questions down here. Do you want me to do that? Yeah?
Just for doing the DigiExam, is it all on the computer save the software? Or?
Man, I don't know. I don't know. I have a feeling, I have no idea. I don't know what they're going to do. They might have like an army of laptops that come out in racks. Yeah, they might, and just start passing them out. I have no idea, and it might be held in a room like this. I doubt it'll be in a lab, but who knows? I kind of wonder if they got all their stuff sorted out. I really wonder. All right, any other questions? No? Okay, the very last thing I have for you before we say goodbye. Oh, somebody shut up. The last thing I have is a couple Kahoots. Now, I'll admit, these Kahoots are the exact same Kahoots I used last year. Okay? And you will see there's some nostalgic stuff in these Kahoots. A lot of them actually cover this material. All right? So I'll just tell you right now, do not interpret the Kahoots like, okay, these must be the exam questions, okay? Because they're not. Okay? The content itself is different. But have a go at it. It's for participation marks. And we'll do the first one for participation marks, which means the first Kahoot we play will be UPI only, please. I'll still throw chocolates out at you. And then the second one is, the guys at home can go ahead and clap remotely and be done early. And then you guys here can play for the last chocolates. And then that's it. We'll put this course to bed. Okay. Kahoot land. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay, so, the pin got small. Wonder why. So again, this is UPIs only, guys. This is for your participation marks for showing up today. That includes you guys playing at home, too. Yeah, I don't think it's 150 people in this room. It's okay. I don't do prop. I don't earn participation marks. Okay, I'll give you a few more seconds. And okay, I've ran out of patience. Here we go. 5 questions. Are you ready? Again, this is not really going to be exam coverage, okay? Some of them might, some won't. Post GFC, the rough share of Auckland home purchasers between investors and first home buyers is first time buyers purchase 3 times as many as investors, first time buyers purchase twice as many as investors, investors purchase twice as many as 3 times. This has changed. If you guys are paying attention out there in the media, okay? This is how it was previously. This has changed now. There's now, I would say, more first-time buyers, just a little bit more than investors, but it's changing again. Investors are coming back. What Maori iwi maintains a significant land holding in central Auckland, including Key Park? Who do you think? I honestly don't even know if Kitty Dell covered this in your lecture this year, but let's just see your basic knowledge on these facts. Pretty good. Ngāti Whātua. Okay. Residential basement foundations are not suited for wet climates with high water tables. Is that a true statement or a false statement? Well, you guys got quiet all of a sudden. Come on, you can do this. Very good. It's too bad that's not on the exam. When a timber roof is braced using plywood sheathing, purlins can be slightly reduced in size. Obviously a structural thing. Is that a true statement or false statement? Watch out, they're reversed. Very good. Don't have purlins at all. Okay. What is the most appropriate solution for venting the plumbing of an island kitchen sink? Fixture vent, air admittance valve, gully trap, or a P-trap? for venting the plumbing of an island sink. 2 of them aren't about venting at all, so. Man, maybe I made a mistake of removing this content, huh? You guys would have done so awesome. Okay, where's MLaw 939? Where's HMAI? Oh, okay, here it goes. I hope it stays in. Good catch. Kind of, almost. CPAS. Avon. Good catch. J. Shi. Good job. Okay, now who, honestly, over on this side, has never received one of these before? Just you? Did you? Sorry. Sorry. Oh, you almost killed somebody behind you. Okay. Here we go. Next one. Now this one you guys could use whatever you please as far as your username or your nickname. Sweet, sweet. Gone. Oh, now I'm going to lose all my audience. Okay, 311050. So I know all you guys leaving, you've already done the set evaluation, yeah? I'm sure of it, yeah? Sweet as? Awesome. I can't, unfortunately. If it was if I ran this place, I would. Okay, we're at 100. We're almost, there we go, boom. Okay, last one of the semester. The NZ Bungalow didn't fully adopt California version. Kiwis refused to give up their what? Central hall corridor, boxed eaves with brackets, finials, bay windows. What did we not give up? So what features in the Kiwi version but does not feature in the Californian original? That's right, man. You guys are good. Crust. Smoko break. Ooh. Is that what caused the fire? In the year blank, long-standing controls around lending limits were abolished in New Zealand. Hooray. Was it back in 85, 94, 74? Did I say 84, 85? I don't know what I said. Anyway, you can read it. Nailed it. Farkoff. Which prop type is not generally appropriate for income capitalization approach to value? Hotel, retail. None of these are correct. Or office. Which one is not generally appropriate for income cap? You guys got quiet. You must be thinking hard. It was a trick question. Very good. Excellent. 4 of 6. What is capitalized in the direct cap method to estimate the value of an income producing property? Is it NOI, OPEX, EGI, or VCL? It really is a 2-horse race, this one. NOI by a long shot. Farkoff. 5 of 6. Yeah, I see the joke. No, I get it. As discussed in class, service section prices lead and drive house prices. As discussed in class, okay? I try to use that a lot in my questions because there's lots of opinions out there. Exactly. So you guys have to realize, and I'll leave this up there for a second because this stuff relates to your, well, I can't honestly remember whether it's going to show up in your exam, this kind of thing. But, well, it does for your essay question. Yeah? You need to reflect what's covered in this class. A lot of things covered in the class are debatable. There are differences of opinion. You need to basically drink my Kool-Aid and feed me, you know, what I say. All right? I know it's a bit unfair, a bit like a dictator, but whatever. So if I say as discussed in class, you can't just pull out your own view of the world. It's kind of as Mike discussed in class, as Mike says. All right? Please keep that in mind. I won't pronounce it this time, okay? Biggest buffoon. Last one. Unlike income and consumption taxes, property tax is a function of actual or imputed home rents. Is that true or false? This is the subject matter that you will be covered on the exam. Is covered on the exam. I'm glad a couple people put you over the line. Yeah? Okay, it's not about actual or imputed rents at all. All right? It's all kind of, again, if you think from valuation, sales comp. It's all about the capital valuation or land value. It has nothing to do with rents. All right, let's see if Farkoff has fallen off the leaderboard. No! Farkoff has, oh, but the rest of the leaderboard all changed. So where is Farkoff? Good job. And where is Langia? Uh-oh, that was headed right for me. There you go. I need to keep an eye on you guys now. Oh, all right, where's the one? Oh, is that like in the Matrix or something? He's the one. Oh, hey, it wasn't my fault. Where's Little Mermaid? Oh no, where's Mermaid? No, the mermaid's not in the house? Aw, where's Aries? Okay, what do I have in my bag? I got 2 left, okay? So I've given one to this side, sorry. I've given one to that side. One and you, I know you've won some before. Have you not really won any? You serious? Okay, now on this side of the room. Anybody who has never, ever won a chocolate? You serious? Positive? Okay. Good catch. All right, guys. In the past, let me just tell you, sorry. Just hold you up for 1 second. In the past, I used to do something a little bit more special at the end of these sessions. I used to put a little special video, you know, like the 2D animated thing in South Park. You guys know South Park? Something of that nature. And I used to get the top 10 students and put them up there. They're dancing around, all that stuff. And what I kind of realized is that, you know, the students are kind of like more probably embarrassed than gratified. And they're just like, you know, did you just freaking do that? And I spent a lot of time producing these things. And then I got, out of 300 students, 290 of them weren't up there. And so they're just like, yeah, good for them. Friggin', you know, and it's like, okay, so I've stopped that. I'm sorry. If any of you guys heard in the past that, oh, he's going to do his video, and I'm a really good student, I'm going to get my chocolate bar. I'm sorry. I had to make a judgment call, and I canned that thing. So I hope it doesn't disappoint you too much. Anyway, you guys have been a great class. I've enjoyed you. Please study hard for your exam, and remember to read your reviews and all that. Okay? Thanks.